Hey everybody, welcome. It's Vanessa Codorniu joining you today on March 15th to talk a little bit about some intuitive insights and also to explore some questions that you may be having that you'd like me to connect with and answer for you, or at least give you some insight. So waiting a couple of minutes. Hi. And I actually got a stand because I was holding it in my hand before and it wasn't working too well. And so now, awesome. Hey everyone, so welcome. My name is Vanessa, and today I wanted to explore something that I know that so many of you are dealing with, because I know that I'm dealing with it. And we're all human beings, right? Or as we can say, souls having a human experience. Hey Ayla, how are you, love? And so many of us are questioning and wondering how to handle everything that's unfolding right now. We turn on Facebook, we turn on social media, we turn on television, and every day we're getting thrown so much information, right? Hi, Nancy. So much information, whether we're going to lose our benefits, gain our benefits. Hey, this is happening, that's happening. We are in a mass of confusion. Sometimes we don't know what to believe. We don't know what to understand. What we do know, most of us, is that we are going through a great time of upheaval, of change, and, you know, some might even say of chaos. And not just in the United States, but really throughout. It's almost very few countries that are actually exempt from this, but there's a great shift happening. For most of us spiritual folks, I think that we thought that we were going to be able to move through this new time, this time of love and light and, you know, healing and spirituality with much greater ease. I know that I thought so as well. I thought that, you know, we were all ushering in this new time, that it was going to be a little more peaceful, a little more loving. And what I'm finding, and I think what so many of us are finding, is that it's not as loving as we thought it would be. It's not as peaceful as we thought it would be. And so when the world around us is chaotic, and the world around us is letting us down and not really showing up the way that we had envisioned, a lot of us soulful people start to go, well, wait a minute, this is not what I manifested. This is not what I created. And so I wanted to give you some insights on that and some suggestions. You know, during this time of great change and a time of confusion and a lot of doubt, one of the things that we utmost need to do is go within and connect with ourselves. Now, when I say go within, you know, go within sometimes is a big old excuse. It's like that teenager who writes "do not disturb" on their door, and then they like hide behind the door for like weeks at a time or months at a time. You probably don't see them to like graduate from high school and have to go away to college. And so we don't really mean that, like soulful. Hey, hi, Monica. Soulful people and conscious people are not talking about putting a sign on your door that says, you know, stay out, keep out. Hey, Kate, how are you? Keep out, stay out. Hey, Jay. What we're talking about is going within, but on a constant basis. Greetings, Jay. Really connecting to ourselves and what turns us on, what excites us. And what I mean by what turns us on is what excites our soul, what inspires us, what sets us on fire. Because especially during times of confusion and times of change and times of doubt, if we start to give our power outside, if we start to give our power outwards to the news, to the media, to this, to that, what we're going to do is lose our center. We're going to lose our center. We're going to lose our focus. We might even lose our purpose. And we're going to start, as empaths and intuitives, bring in the energy of the news, bring in the energy of other people. We're going to start absorbing the energies around us rather than generating our own reality, rather than generating our own purpose and our own light because of the fear. So that's really what I'm talking about. So thank you for joining me. What I'm doing today is chatting with some insights, and then I'm going to be answering some questions. And so what we're dealing with here is a time that we've seen before at different periods of history, where we feel like we can't trust anything and anyone. So I wanted to give you some insights to be able to navigate this time a little better, because most of the people who listen, most of the people who connect with me are empaths. They're highly sensitive, right? They're very intuitive. Hey, Monica. And so how do we navigate this time? So what I want to suggest to all of you is go within, but not the type that is like the, you know, the high school kid who puts a sign and goes bye. Really go within, but then come out. Go within and come out. Let it be that you go within with a breath, like breathing in and you're going within. And then you're letting go what doesn't serve and you breathe out. Don't go so within. Thank you, Jay. Don't go so within that you run away from what's happening. Don't go so within that you just disengage and disconnect and basically kind of float around in your own aura and your own energy, right? Because trust me, when you come back from that floating around in your own bubble, it's going to be even more disorienting and more disconcerting. So it's almost easier to be able to navigate and do what we need to do to navigate with this energy, right? And sometimes it's all good. You're so cute. Sometimes, Monica, that can work, right? Temporarily, we got bye, we head out. But the truth is that we always have to kind of stay in the flow of it because that's what we signed up to do, right? All of us here are in a body. Most of us who are spiritual folk believe that it's not by accident, that we incarnated on purpose, that we decided to incarnate during this time to also anchor in more love, anchor in more change, anchor in more expansion, more justice, more kindness, more compassion. But how do we do that when we're scattered? How do we do that when we give the outside world way more power than we need to give it? Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to listen to things that might make us protest or sign a petition or not in agreement, wherever you are on the political spectrum. The thing is, if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't honor our own inner truth and take time to explore what that means, we will get caught up with the fear tidal wave. We will get caught up with the fear tidal wave. We'll be caught up and we'll be distracted from what we're here to do. Hard to deal sometimes, but yes, I signed up for this experience. Absolutely. And then when we do what we need to do. So I have a couple of things. Oh, cool, Danny. How are you? So I have a couple of suggestions for us, right, before I go into questions. And some of the suggestions that I was bringing up about was going in and continuing to be present, not running away completely. Yes, maybe you need a day to run away. Maybe you needed 2 days of retreat, but continue to return. Really be careful with social media. Really be careful with, what you ingest. Be very careful how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit, because these are trying times. And we really don't need to be feeding ourselves junk food, right? And then, and I mean junk food by the media and what we're putting into our mind, body, and spirit. Yay, Monica. And so be careful with social media. Be careful with believing everything you read. Be careful with giving away your power. When you feel that sadness pouring into you, when you feel the overwhelm of, oh my God, where's the earth going? What's happening on this political landscape? What's happening to the United States? What's happening to the world? Take a moment, breathe in, and just begin to breathe in your own love. Breathe in your own soul. Like just focus in, just breathing in love and truth, right? And just exhaling what we don't need. For some people, that's enough. For other people, we might need to turn on some music and just dance it out, right? Whatever connects us to the flow of our own spirit. Then I have a couple of tools around here, actually, right? For some people, it also works to light a candle. We light a candle, and in that lighting of the candle, it's symbolic of also lighting our own candle, right? Lighting our own sacred flame. Because it doesn't have power within itself, but it's really symbolic of what we're trying to do, each and every one of us, right? Light our own flame, and then light the flame of love and compassion and change in the world. Hey, Shama, how are you, love? And so this is one of the things that we can do. And when we light this candle, we can also do just a simple meditation where we allow ourselves to stare at the flame and to breathe that in. And to breathe in that presence and that oneness, right? So that's something that we can do as well. I have sage somewhere around in this office, but I didn't bring it with me to the desk. We can also light sage, sweet grass. We can light an incense. And again, the power is not in the tool itself. The power is not in the thing itself. The power is within you. The power is your intention, where you're saying, you know what? Stop this crazy bleep world. I'm going to breathe right now, bring myself to present moment, bring myself to centeredness, and whatever that means for you. That could mean a conversation with a good friend. Hey, so good to see you and catch live. I love flame meditation. So awesome. Thank you, love. So much love to you. So it's about bringing us in. What else can do that? Dancing wildly can do that for us as well. Allows us to also get those endorphins going. Something else that I do, and is a lot of part of the Latin community, this is agua florida, right? Florida water. You could do this. Yay, Jay. You could do this with really almost any cologne. I just grew up with this, right? Agua Florida. And with Agua Florida, it's just a cologne, people. It's just a cologne. Don't tell that to Hispanics, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Argentinians who know about this, because we think it has magical powers. The truth is that, it's associated to our nervous system at this point, if we've been introduced to this as a child, that when mom puts this on your head, you kind of release and let go. So that could be any cologne that you like. It could be Florida water like this is. It could be, you know, water of roses. It could be holy water from a church. It could be the cologne. It could be water with lemon. It could just be plain tap water. It's really the intention that you bring to it. So when you're feeling really charged up and you're feeling overwhelmed, especially if you've been feeling good and suddenly you turn on the news or somebody calls you or somebody goes, oh, we're not going to have any health care benefits, and we feel really, really, really overwhelmed. We use that in Oxford, and I think that too. Yes, it is. It's all the intention that we give to it, right? We give, everything is sacred, water, everything, and then it's also the intention that we give to it. So if you're feeling way down, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the world, if you're at a job, at an office, take this moment. I learned this from my grandmother, who was an empath, like a tremendous empath. I think she'd be over 100 years old now, right? She passed. She used to just go wash her hands. She'd pour water in her hands and then go and throw the water into the sink and say, I'm done. Because she was such an empath as a natural, you know, psychic, as a Scorpio, that she would carry that weight upon her shoulders and feel terrible. And so what we're wanting to do is not let the weight of the world and the weight of the emotional landscape and the political landscape of the earth overwhelm you and bring you down. That's going to mean that you're going to have to take an action, right? Even if it's breathing. Because if you just sit there and you suffer and you take it on as, well, I'm an empath and I suffer and this is my story, which, you know, I may sound like I'm making fun of it, and I kind of a little bit am, just because I've been there. I've been that empath who's like, oh, darling, I can't do this because it's too much. I'm overwhelmed. Hey, Danny, great. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Right? I used to say, oh, darling, I just can't. I'm an empath. You know, not with that accent, but I used to do that. And so what happens is, the more we give the power to I'm an empath and I'm just so intuitive and I'm just so special and it's so overwhelming, I'm going to lay here and just die, it becomes so, right? We keep attracting that same energy that I'm an empath, I can't do much, I'm an empath, I can't do much. And I'm an empath, I'm a serious empath, and I read people every day, I am in hypnosis, I hear the worst traumas, and so I know that we all can do it, but what it means is heightened self-care. Let's see what Nancy says. I use a lovely fluorescent spray. I need to spritz more often, also wash my hands just as your grandmother did. I love that you're doing that. Another thing that we can do to clear our energy, right, or clear the space, is we can literally go, right? So clapping or making a sound clears energy. So literally, I mean, it would be pretty wild, right? People are having a political discussion and you're standing there in the supermarket and suddenly you go, and they all look at you. But well, you know, we got to do what we got to do. So if that's what you need to do, you can do that or wait till you get home to wash your hands. So another thing that we can do to clear space. Hey, Everett just came in, but it's so nice to listen to you while waiting in the dentist waiting room. Oh, great. So we're talking about energy, Everett, and feeling overwhelmed by the political landscape, feeling overwhelmed by the world's woes. Yes, I know, right, clapping. And so we can also do this. Good luck with the dentist. Yes, chimes at your window, and I use them to clear energy. Great. I have chimes at the front door. They're going off now, actually. So I also have this, right? And a friend of mine gave this to me, and literally you go, and just allowing that to clear. So really the point of this talk today, hey, I'm going to reach out to you, Everin. Before we get into the questions, the point of this talk is really kind of to empower us not to feel overwhelmed without anything to do about it, right? Because that's the worst thing, especially for an empath. You know, I watched a movie the other day about a revolt that happened in 1984 in India, and I was crying when I found out what happened with the Hindus and the Sikhs and all this. I just sobbed like it came out of my chest. But then I took a deep breath and I started to bring in love and release what didn't serve me, because it was such an empathic moment and I felt so helpless, and I thought, this world, what's going on with this world? And I mean, that already happened in 1984, but things like that are happening everywhere. So just know that you don't have to willy-nilly suffer your intuitive abilities. You don't have to, you're welcome, Everin, willy-nilly just sit there. It's like, because I have a blanket on, it's cold, right? But, you know, what happens to us literally is that when we're intuitive and there's depression or energy or trauma, it literally goes like this to us, right? It literally does this to us. And, you know, for most of us, if we don't take an action, we literally sit there with that blanket on our heads the whole time. And I don't think we need to. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you today. So now I wanted to open up to any questions that you may have. Any questions that you may have intuitively or psychically. I read the Akashic Records. So much love to you, Shama, Monica. So any questions that you may have, I'll open the records and I'll delve in. But really know that we are empowered, that we have the tools, we have the abilities. Oh, and I want to show you one more thing. This is a black onyx crystal ball, right? It was given to me by one of my students, one of my clients actually. And it's a protection, it's for protection. And again, it is just an onyx crystal, our intention. And so I work with it as well to just lift off the negativity or the energy. Let's see. I love my salt rock lamp. It keeps such a calm vibe in my office. Great, Sarah. I love that you're doing something like that. I have a singing bowl that I have a very hard time using. Okay, so then maybe don't use it for now, Jay, right? Because sometimes there's something that we have in our house and for some reason we don't use it. Rather than pushing yourself to have to do it, use something else. Use that flame meditation. Use something that is easier. Yes, the energy does come before the news breaks or people come. It's pretty, does happen as well. Shama, so it absolutely does. Do you find as an empath you can feel and burst into tears over something not in your physical space and not aware of you? Absolutely, especially when it comes to family-related stuff. So as an empath, family-related stuff, when my mother calls me, she goes, oh, I feel like I have the foot of an elephant on my chest. You know, we call it the foot of the elephant feeling. Foot of the elephant on your chest in my family means that some shit's about to go down. And my mother calls me, she talks to me, my sister calls me, we're like, oh my God, it's the foot of the elephant. And then boom, some bad news happens within the family, right? Because it's like, you can't breathe. But each of us do what we can, right, to clear that energy. My mom does her meditation and her Catholic prayer and her agua florida, right? And I'll do my own thing too. And what I add to that is, well, what do I need to know about this feeling? Because I find that so many empaths, what we do is, because we have that like blanket that I said, like on our heads, and we're like weighed down, we don't even go to the next step to say, well, what's going on? How can I shift this? What do I need to do right now? And we have to understand that, you know, we have a mind, body, and spirit. We don't have to just give in to this overwhelming feeling. We can, you know, use our mind to say, well, what do I need to shift right now? Well, I mean, I love baths, right? I usually wait till the end of the night. But there are some times where I've had to run into the bath in the middle of the day because I just can't. I've just seen 5 people and I'm like, oh, you know, and I go do it because, hey, I can. Monica, thinking about next home, I went to start looking, wondering if next spring is the time, if New York will be the place. Any guidance, and this is appreciated. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open the records now. So everybody coming on board, everybody who's here, what you're doing by staying on and asking a question is that you're actually giving me permission to open your Akashic Records. So I'm opening the Akashic Records of the group. Monica, stay with me. And so as we begin this session for this group, I ask that their higher selves, angels, guides be present. I ask that my own higher self, angels, and guides be present. I ask that great creator, universe, God, be present, fill us with love, light, truth, and allow us to connect to the sacred information, inspiration, energy, and healing that we're needing at this time. So it is, so it shall be. Ashe, Aho, and Amen. Okay, Monica, so what I'm getting for you right now is that it can either be spring or it can be fall. They're showing me fall of this year. They're showing me spring of next year. They're showing me that there is a pattern that you are working on right now that it's like interesting because it's like a lid on a jar and it's lifted, lifting, and you're about to snap it off because finding your new home also means that you're approaching your life and your business differently. That's what they're saying. It's a whole new different feeling. So this energy is already kicking in. It's already unfolding. And it can work into the fall and it can work into the spring. The one thing that they're telling me, though, is that if you're not going to do it in the fall, if you choose not to do it in the fall of 2017, to be very, very certain of yourself, to be very, very certain of yourself so you don't spend the winter very sad, right? Because they're saying to me that when winter hits for you, if you don't have a home or something stable, it can bring your spirit down. So they're saying fall is good, spring is good of 2018, but then make sure that you are actually at peace with what you're doing if you're going to spend your winter, next winter coming up, with not a secure home. Right? Because it's something that just screws with you, they're saying. But changes are already unfolding. You're already preparing to shift. And they're saying that you just need to show up more with your love. To look at it less like it's so much work, it's so much work, it's so much work I have to do. And just look at it like, oh, it's love. You're pouring love out into the world. I hope that supported you. Let's go here. Lorena, hey! Since I've been in Peru, I haven't been able to sleep through the night. I've slept in my childhood bedroom, my mother's bedroom, and even the main living room, and no luck. Okay, I can't see it. So everybody make sure that your questions are short, because if you write too much, I cannot read it. Okay, so let's look at Lorena. What's going on with Lorena? Let's clear off Monica. Let's look at Lorena. It goes deeper than being at your childhood home. It goes deeper than that, Lorena, they're saying. They're saying that there is an anxiety underneath it all. Like, there's a part of you that's okay being where you are and you're in Peru and living the life you're living and how you're living it. And there's a lot of joys connected to it. But there's something underneath the surface that's kind of like, well, this can't go on forever. Something's got to shift. And so it's kind of like that unspoken anxiety. So that's what they're telling me. It's more of an anxiety. It's not like the place is per se haunted. Like there's some energies around and spirits that, yes, you could light some sage and ask to release everything that's not yours. That would help. But really what they're saying is that you have to give voice to the anxiety underneath it. To the anxiety underneath it. Because it's almost like you've been skating on ice, right? But you know that there's a crack somewhere. Yeah, they're showing this to me. You're skating on ice, and you know that there's a crack under the water somewhere. You just don't know where it is. So you keep skating, and you're having fun. But you know that, or you think, not that you know, or you believe that there's a crack that might give way, And so that's what is not letting you relax enough to sleep. I hope that makes sense. Skating on top of something where you think you're okay on one level, but subconsciously you're afraid that it's going to give away, that the ground is going to give away. And so you're never comfortable enough to completely let go into sleep. One of the things that they're telling me is to keep repeating to yourself, I am safe, I am loved, and I'm protected. And also to cleanse the whole space, like light some sage, use agua florida, use a cologne, use something. And I'm also hearing to use a prayer. You can use a prayer to just clear the house. But it's not really specifically about the house, right? It's really about you and needing to give voice to that subconscious fear that you have going on underneath. I hope that helped. Sending you so much love. Jay, okay, closing Lorena. Jay, I get emotional by things on TV or a movie or whatever that has nothing to do with me. Absolutely, because you're a total empath, Jay. You know, I met you. You're a total empath. And so what you do is you're like, click, and you pick up that person, that energy's feeling, even if it's not even a real story, right? Even if it's like a fantasy movie, whatever it may be, you click to the emotion. So you're highly attuned to emotion. The most important thing that you need to do is what I was sharing today, because it's really directed at empaths. You know, you need to clear with sound. You need to clear with liquid or water. You need to clear with a flame. You need to clear with your breath. Because you've got to fortify yourself. Otherwise, you're going to walk around like a sponge and just pick up everything that happens around you and get so weighed down that then you're not even going to want to step out into the world because it's like too overwhelming. Okay? So I'm glad that you're sharing that. And yes, it's a magnificent, beautiful, incredible gift. And you've got to learn to self-care it so it doesn't bring you down. Okay, Shama. Any insight, so closing for Jay, any insight around cash flow and finances would be so appreciated. I've hit a serious tough spot and I'm now going into exploring options of work outside my primary business. Okay, so one of the things that I'm being guided into, first know this, there are always going to be people that no matter what are always raking in the money because of the systems they've been able to create, right? And then there's people, this is what the guides are telling me. And then there's always going to be people who are not up to those systems yet, or that structure, that level of outreach, you know, down to the new beginners. And you're not a beginner, you're in there more. And so what's happening is a combination of tons of fear right now. So people need you the most, Shama. They really, really need you. but it feels like too much effort, right? It feels almost like too much effort to get the word out there, because right now at this time it takes like us doing 10, 15 free things, right, for really that super cash flow to come kick in. So what they're telling me is okay right now, not to wait to the last minute, to go into other areas. And I'm seeing you successfully walk in. You have your resume. You're really excited. It's actually something that you're going to like, but you are going to continue to build your business. So it's really not about this or that. They're telling me it's an and. It's an and. Because things are a little shaky right now in the world, the and is actually going to support you. What it's going to do for you, they're telling me, it's going to connect you to people somehow. So you're going to be working in some sort of career path. It's going to connect you to people. And eventually you're going to be able to tell them about your hypnotherapy and your other services. And second of all, they're telling me that what's going to happen is then you're going to get to speak. So whatever you wind up doing, at some point you're going to get to speak. People are going to love your poise, your grace, the way you speak. They're going to ask you how you achieve this, what's going on. And then you're going to be like, oh, I'm a spiritual person. This is also the work that I do. So actually, you're being guided back into some sort of work. Make sure that it has to do with people, that you have to be around others, that it's not alone in your apartment with a laptop. Because that being around with people is going to bring you back around to grow your primary business. They're also telling me it's going to give you more money to actually refine systems of advertising, marketing, publicity to get the word out. I hope that helps, love. Sending you so much love. Closing for Shama. Thank you. Hey, B. Hey, Monica. Sending you love. Nancy. You're so welcome, Nancy. Vanessa, can you see what comes up for me? My sacred space, our home, was violated with a home invasion Saturday night. Oh, I'm so sorry. Trying hard to clear my home. Want to know if there was a... Okay, when they're too long, I can't read them. When they're too long, I can't read them. If there was... It's not telling me, Nancy. Can you see what comes up for me? My sacred space, our home, was violated with a home invasion Saturday night. Trying hard to clear my home, but want to know if there was... It's an interesting thing. There's interference around the house. There's still like a dark blob of energy around the house, right? So I don't know what your question was. Trying hard to clear my home, but want to know if there was a... there's still a dark blob of energy. It was more than one person. It was not one person. It was more than one person. I'm getting 3 or more. And, you know, it was targeted. You were watched. It wasn't willy-nilly. And I'm asking if it was personal. I'm hearing no. I'm hearing that it wasn't personal. But you were watched. You were observed. You know, you were cased. They cased the space. What else? This is hitting you hard, they're saying, because you work so hard to give yourself a safe space and have a beautiful, contained home for your family, for yourself, for your creations. They're saying not to take it personally, although it feels personal. And they're saying that it's just one of those challenges that some of us are going to be going through, they're saying, during these times. These people are already doing it. They're not doing it out of harsh necessity and they're freaked out or nervous or crazy. They've already been doing this, whoever's done this. But what needs to happen is you need to get rid of that blob that's still hanging around your house. So there's a dark blob of energy. It's in the center of the house, towards the back. So center towards the back, over the roof. It's just an energy. And it's almost like this energy was hanging over, and then it kind of said, it's weird. So it's interference. So that's what kind of brought them to it, right? So it's nothing you did wrong. There's nothing you did, nothing you could have done. But, you know, there's a lot of shadows hanging out right now. There's a lot of blobs of negativity and thought forms. So there's still a thought form up there. Since I can't see the rest of your question, I can't answer all of it, but I hope that helped. If you want to put the rest of it, Nancy, I can open it up again. So closing for Nancy. But it will clear and you will be okay. You just need to get rid of the dark blob, Nancy. Kate, I've had chronic fatigue for the last 22 years. Any info on how I can clear this because I feel it's holding me back? Okay, Kate. So I had actually chronic fatigue as well. So one of the things that they're telling me very clearly for you, and you maybe already be doing it. So it's 3 big things that they're saying. One of them, it is connected to a past life situation, okay? And, we'll work on that. It's connected to a past life situation. But 2, it's that you have such a huge pattern. Maybe you've shifted it recently, but you had a huge, huge pattern most of your life of putting yourself last. And so your chronic fatigue is basically your body, giving you the middle finger and going, I can't move forward with this. I can't continue to do this. You've got to help me. But the thing is, you've been struggling through with it. So what Spirit asks of you at this time, what your guides are asking you of this time, is to sit down for a moment, and before taking on anything else, before adding more to the plate, right, to actually breathe and drop into your own wisdom and ask yourself, what do I need to shift in order to shift my chronic fatigue? Because I know that years ago when I had it, I asked myself that question. It was 14 years ago. And I got a detailed message of what I had to do. And it wasn't pretty. I had to do a lot. I had to leave one of my jobs. I had to move out my boyfriend. There were a lot of things that had to happen. I did them all. And within 2-3 months, it was gone. And I had the Epstein Barr in my blood. So this is what they're guiding you to do. It's not really so much about a combination of foods, although they're saying fresh veggies are really good for you. I don't know, they're showing me juices, but not like fruit juices. They're showing me, I don't know, some green juices, but to be careful with that as well, they're saying. But we can delve more in on that. But they're showing me green juices. They're showing me, purified water. They're showing me the right protein. And the pain and the trauma is like you're still carrying. You're carrying some guilt. You're carrying pain. And you're carrying the feeling that everything is up to you on some level. Okay, so that's from the past, moving forward into present, and that's what's weighing you down. Because your body's actually afraid that if it actually lifts the chronic fatigue away from you, that you're going to kill it by doing too much, by showing up too much. So it's almost like you have to reconnect with your body and be like, look, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done. We're going to work this through. What do I need to shift in order to heal you? And I promise I'm not going to abuse you. I'm not going to go extra. I'm not going to go crazy. I want to do my business and I want to do things, but I'm not going to go crazy. And that's really important. That's how I healed like 3 or 4 different things, Kate. So I hope that helped you because it was straight from the guides. Sending you so much love. Closing for Kate. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lorena. So you're waiting to hear waiting to hear is the hardest part, the new job. So are you waiting for a new job, Sarah? Ask me a question. Just make it like 1 sentence so I could read it. Thank you, Sarah. Jay, any insight on a relationship for me? So, interestingly enough, a relationship is on its way for you, Jay. They're almost saying, though, that you're still in a process of owning yourself. Right? So not only owning your intuitive gifts, but it's like valuing yourself, loving yourself more. So it's almost like the relationship hasn't kicked in yet, right? Or the way you want it to kick in, because you become too much of the lover, the giver. That's what they're showing me. The lover, the giver, and almost the one who takes it all. That's what they're saying. The one who takes it. Like the one who will put up with it. The one who will hang in there. It's like this eternal feeling of loyalty and support. So they're saying that right now it's really a time for you to give yourself that loyalty and support and own, like, what do you want and go for it, and who am I? Maybe journal about who am I and what do I want. No holds barred. And in that process of you loving yourself, you're going to be able to bring that caliber of relationship, that caliber of the level of what you're wanting to. Because they're saying that there were other relationships that kind of where you maybe wanted the person more, or like it became boring, or it became too stuck or something. So that's what they're showing me for you. I hope that served. Thank you. Yay! Thank you, Lorena. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks so much. Hi, B. What can I do to really get supported and promoted by my boss in my 60% corporate job? Okay. So it's so interesting. Owning it in your energy, owning it in your energy, which I think you're already moving to be. You're already moving towards that. You've done, some shifts in the last 2 weeks. And it's interesting because your guides are almost saying, like, part of the reason that you're not going to be supported, or you can't almost be supported, quote unquote, is because that's also the fire that's moving you forward to create your own business, to navigate your own waters, to steer your own ship. And so it's almost like you've got to speak to this person, to him or to this boss, and either come with them with an idea and just say out loud, like ask for what you need. Now, I know it sounds scary, but this is your process. Being able to step up and ask for what you need. And if they don't, you know your answer. But it's not about, proving yourself and staying a billion hours and coming up with a million things. It's more like aligning yourself and knowing the value that you bring to the organization, to the job, and then going, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, and I need it now. Because, men do that. That's what men do, right, in general. A lot of men do. They come up and they're like, hey, I need the support on this, I need that. And a lot of people give it to them. Not all, but a lot. And so it's almost like you need to go in there, and not mask in a masculine way and highly, hostile or offensive. Not that saying that men are, but not in any way where you're pushing, but in a natural, flowing way. Like, look, I want to show up more in this organization, in this work. I want to serve in a bigger way, and I need your support in order to do this. Can you do this for me? Because I want to show up even bigger. And that's what they're showing me that you're doing. I hope that supports you. Closing for B. Hi, Nina. Okay. I'd like to have guidance about cash flow. Okay. I wish I could ask you questions, Nina, because what they're saying to me is almost like in one area of your life you're trying too hard. Okay, so there are a couple of areas where you could be receiving cash, right? This is what they're showing me. There's a couple of areas. I don't know because I don't know you. There's a couple of areas where you could be receiving cash flow. It feels like you're either staring too much. Like they're showing me 3 doors, right? And you keep staring at one door. And you're like, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? Meanwhile, it's so cute because they're showing me 2 little like gift mice. I don't know why they're mice. But there's 2 little mice at the door and they have gifts in their hands. It's really, your guides have really interesting sense of humor. I don't know if you know that. And they have these little gifts in their hands. But because you're staring at the one portal and the one doorway, right? The other 2 doors that kind of want to give you money and cash flow, you're not looking at. So the way I'm looking at this is this. If the universe wants to bring you the money and keep you safe, keep you nurtured, keep you protected, and keep you in flow, but it's like you are wanting it to come from a particular door that at this time there isn't particular flow. So look to other avenues because the universe wants to bring that money through the other avenues. I hope that helped. Thank you. I'm closing for Nina. Shama, thank you so much. That's a huge help. So grateful. Also, I totally felt that energy. Yay! Sending you that love. Good. I'm so glad. Sending you love, Shama. Hey, Angela. Hi, Jennifer J. Yes. Okay. Oh, my Vanessa, you helped me so much. I will focus on clearing the black shadow above us. Bless you. Sending you so much love. Yeah, it's like tangible. It's right there, and it's leaning towards the back of the house over the center. It's going to clear, Nancy. It's going to clear. And just, don't take it personally because you are a good person. And when we're good people and shit happens to us, we're like, but wait a minute, I'm a good person. It happens to me. It happens to all of us. And then it's like, well, sometimes things get deflected. It's really weird. Okay, whoa, I'm getting chills. Okay, I'm getting another message for everyone. The spirit and guides are saying that sometimes we spiritually take a hit almost because we know that other people energetically can't. Wow, I'm getting like energies everywhere and tinglies. I almost want to cry. So Nancy, this is for you and for other people present who feel like they've taken a hit. They're saying that sometimes because there's negativity and because there's clouds around, the stronger soul will like step, not because everybody's strong. Everybody's soul is strong. But like the stronger embodied soul, the soul in the body that can take it, will take on like the dark cloud or the dark energy or the shadow because others can't. So it's almost like your soul and your family took this hit because almost like you could come back from it where other people would not emotionally or spiritually come back from it. So it's really divine service that you performed by having that happen to you, they're saying. So sending you so much love. Thank you for that. Jay, light from above, Nancy. Blessings and strength and energy for your clearing. Yay, Jay, thank you. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, love. I'm so excited for our interview today. It's happening soon. Can't wait. Kate, thank you. I've been trying to juice more. That makes so much sense. Thank you. What I've noticed about healing, and I want to do a special talk about this. What I've noticed about healing, now healing is multi-level, okay? You cannot generalize and say, well, if you breathe really deeply and you connect to the core, you will be healthy. We can't say that because there are some soul agreements where people have individually taken on to say, well, you know, I'm going to have cancer and I'm going to pass away really gracefully. And I'm going to pass away with a lot of love and affect my whole community. And everyone watching this person go through this ordeal comes away going, wow, I am so blessed to be alive, and I'm going to do something with my life because I just saw this person leave the earth so gracefully. So there are occasions when people have certain illnesses that the way that they live with the illness, the way that they carry it with grace, with love, with strength, with pride, is the lesson in itself, and it's there not only to support them and their family and their lives, but to support the community and to support others. So there's different levels to illness. There's also the illness when we're not in balance, when we're not breathing correctly, we're not eating correctly, and we're also energetically not in congruence, right? And so when we can get into that alignment and release what doesn't serve us, then the health can come in. So just be aware, don't feel bad if you've been trying to do so many things to heal, that there's so many levels to healing, and just allowing yourself to be in your body, to take care of yourself, and to ask that gentle question, you know, dear body, I love you. How can I shift this health thing right now? What do you need from me? And trust me, when I went through surgery, a fibroid surgery, my belly was out like 6 months pregnant, full of tumors. I did everything. I mean, I went to acupuncturists and healers, and I mean, I did everything under the sun. And finally the message was, well, you need to learn to trust and go under the knife. You need to learn that you can go into an operating room, because I'd never been before. You can lay down, you can be cut open, and pieces of you could be taken out. And you can rise and you can be okay. And I was like, wow, an initiation by steel, right? An initiation by operating room. And so that is what happened to me, which was what can happen to so many people. And I came out of that surgery so much stronger, so much thankful to be alive, so much more thankful to be alive. And also with much more awe and love of my own body. And I just kept putting my hands over my body going, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you know, as men and women, and especially as women, we put our bodies down in so many different ways. We're like, well, I like this part, but I want to get rid of the double chin. Or I love this part, but I wish my butt was higher. And it's all great. You know, we all want to look better. We all want to be more fit. We all want to have flatter bellies. At the end of the day, though, our bodies are such magnificent miracles. And they need to hear that we love them. You know, they're part of us. It's mind, body, and spirit. But I'm like, girl, I love you. I love you. I just say that to her every day, and I thank her. So be kind to yourselves. Give yourselves that kind message. That will go a long way. I know people that even managing serious illnesses because of the love they give themselves seem like they're completely healthy, even though they're dealing with serious ailments because of the love that they're pouring into their body and the spirit that they're allowing to flow through them. So sending you so much love with that message, Kate. I'm hearing a yes, Sarah. I'm hearing a yes. So I don't know what it is, but there's a shift happening there, and I'm hearing something very positive. Like people have been speaking very, very positive about you, very positively about you. Something's on its way, and it's good. Relax into it. Don't worry. All is well, they're saying. And you're going to continue writing, and then this work is coming in. Okay? Sending you so much love, Sarah. Amanda, feeling like I need community today, so I'm grateful to be watching this. Thank you, Vanessa Codorniu. I'm grateful to see Shama and Kathleen Booker watching as well. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I felt like that too. And I was like, let me be of service. Oh, no. Well, Jay, listen to the recording, okay? Because I can't repeat it. I don't remember it right now, like what came through for you specifically. And I just want to invite us, as we continue, and you stay with me here, so just take a moment and allow your eyes to gently close. And just taking a deep breath in through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. And just allowing. And knowing that as you take in a deep breath, that there are so many sisters and brothers who are also with us. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. And just affirming as you take in that breath that we are connected, that we are loved, that we are supported. And so breathing that in. And exhaling. And knowing that we're loved. And knowing that we are here with each other. And that we're on this journey together, you know. And it ain't always pretty. It's not always pretty. But that there is a method to the madness. And we don't have to have the answers all the time. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Yay. Let's go to Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm looking for reassurance that I'm on the right path, even though it points to things that are socially unacceptable. How can I stay the course and not be overcome emotionally by fear? That's a really wonderful, wonderful question, Jennifer J. And, you know, again, when I came out with my work, it wasn't socially acceptable either. Now it's trendy and cool. So just remember that there's always somebody. And whatever work that you're doing, there's somebody, I bet that there's somebody writing about it somewhere. There's somebody underground sharing about it. And so the thing that they're showing me that you're worried about the most is like work and maybe your child, like maybe it affecting your child, you know, connection with your child, or maybe something like that, or maybe your work. They're saying it's okay. You are on the right path. And they're saying that the right path is anything that engages you. Because as human beings, especially now in this time and age, there's so much to take our attention away. There's so much. There's so many amazing videos and talks and things and lives and just a million things happening and tons of apps. So if there's something that keeps bringing you back, like my work keeps bringing me back over and over and over again, and there's other things I could do, right? I'm good at a couple of other things. But this work keeps bringing me back because it's my passion, it's my path. And so Jennifer J., you know, and everybody who's watching, if something keeps bringing you back, whether it's writing or speaking or gathering people or supporting people, this is in truth part of your soul purpose. And know that your soul purpose is not always on a business card. So this doesn't fit there. It's too big. It's too much. And yet it's simpler too, because we complicate things as human beings. And so Jennifer J., you're here to bring light to the dark. You're here to shed light to the dark. You're here to bring words to that which is not spoken about. You're here to, it's interesting, I'm seeing like a woman going down the stairs to the underworld and then bursting it open, right? And I'm very connected to Persephone. You know, I'm very connected to Aphrodite, to Athena, but Persephone is also one of my goddesses. And Persephone goes through loss, goes through, depending on the myth, goes through loss, goes through pain, and separation from the top world, the sunny world, the world of the light that everybody is dancing around or pretending to be in, and gets, you know, kind of taken underground to experience certain things. When she returns, Jennifer J., she returns as the queen. The queen. She returns as the guide of psychopomps. She returns as a guide for souls. And in the pain and the stuff that I've been through, I return to also guide others into that space. So they keep telling me, like, you're on the right path, and the fear is really... the fear of past lives and other issues that you're dealing with, and the fear directly of job and child, that they're saying that just go slow, take step by step, start small, start with groups that you can manage. It doesn't have to be wildly public, and that bit by bit you'll gain in confidence. I hope that serves. Thank you. Closing off for Jennifer J. Hey, Eleanor. Hey, Belinda. Oh, Belinda, I'm so glad. Yes, love. Sending you so much love. Just remember... You know, agua florida, Belinda, okay? Shama, so much love. Yay, and Amanda Berlin. Wow, my connection is really bad today. I'm so sorry. What else can I do to heal my knee besides physical therapy? So, Belinda, one of the things that they're telling me to do is what I offered to the person below. Definitely use Reiki. So, you apply Reiki. And they're saying to check in with yourself, like when you really can't go to the corner, when you really can't walk, when you really can't do something, you need to stop and ask somebody else to do it. And they're saying that almost in your life, it's, you know, like so many of us, Belinda, there is this unfolding pattern and story of being able to ask and being able to open to receive. So what they're telling me is that you need to open to receive more help. That sometimes a lot of the ailments that you've gotten in life, or the times where you couldn't work as much as you wanted to, is because you were giving too much of yourself. It was too much. It was exhausting. And your body communicated that way and kind of shut you down. And so right now, especially there's snow outside, you're doing physical therapy, give yourself Reiki, and then ask yourself who can help you with what. And don't feel bad. And receive the support. And the other thing that they're telling me is to ask yourself what pattern is underlying the knee. Ask yourself as you deep breathe and go within, because I know you're a gifted intuitive. We've worked together. You were my student years ago. So go within, Belinda, and ask yourself, what is the underlying energy beneath the knee? What is the underlying energy beneath the knee, and how can I shift it? Or what do I need to learn from it? So let's see. Yay, B. So closing Belinda. Makes so much sense. If somebody could do me a favor now, please, and write underneath that we're done, because I want to end. I have a 3 o'clock appointment with a wonderful lady, Kathleen. So please close off. I have to close off soon. B. Makes so much sense. He actually already promised to support me, but he's not doing anything. But as you said, this brings me forward with my business. Right, it brings you forward with your business, and also get super clear and be like, I need boom, 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 boom. Sometimes with people, you've got to be like that, because support is very like amorphous. Like, what is it? It has no form, you know, do. It's like this. So give it a form. Be like, this is the form. This is what I need from you. And I need this too. Like, you've got to be really specific. You're welcome, B. Sending you so much love. Nina. No, they're from 2 other spaces that are wanting to come from things that you're good at, Nina. So yeah, when I look at people's business, I look at the cash flow being all from one. So like I have 2 courses going on now, and I have one-on-one coaching, and I have readings and hypnosis sessions. I don't see that as separate cash flows. They're all one. So the 2 other doors are 2 other things that you're good at, and the universe wants to bring you money through them. Okay? Thank you so much, Nina. Anything else I need to be doing at the time of realigning with my true self? A lot of reshuffling since my mom died. Sending you so much love and and condolences, Ayla. I'm so sorry about that. You're reshuffling and you may be saying, well, I've been refiguring and reconfiguring now for a couple of years, but this was big. You're stepping, thank you, sending you so much love. I see the hearts. Ayla, you're stepping into reconfiguring, like who you are and who you want to be in the world. So it's almost like, don't pressure yourself for a finalized destination or goal. Do what feels right at the moment. So if you wanted to gather people in your house, go ahead and do it. If you don't want to gather people in your house, don't do it. Really, it's connecting to what you're needing right now at this time, rather than, how do I serve, or how do I do this, or how do I show up. It's really about you asking yourself what you need, because that's really what you need. It's not a time to make do anymore as you move forward in life. It's not a time to go, well, I'll just do this because this is happening, because we all go through that. It's a time of getting clear about what you need right now. And as you get clear about what you need right now, you're going to continue to get more information from Spirit about what's unfolding for you. But the most important thing is to get clear what you want right now, what you need right now, and asking for it, and also standing by it, because that's going to send out ripples of change and shift. Okay? So I'm sending you so much love, and I also have your things. So we'll talk when I get into New York so I could give them to you. Thank you, Ayla. Oh, thank you, Jennifer J. Sending you so much love. Hey, Kathleen, message to Amanda, sending love. Yay. Rainbow of Energy, hi again, came back feeling it now. You were asking, are you? So do you get a sense of what might be blocking my writing? Flows and it stops, flows and it stops, and it flows and it stops. Okay, I'm going to answer Danny, because then I got to get going. I'm going to answer Danny, and then I got to go, because I have an interview in 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Okay, so what's going on with Danny? Okay, so there's a guy that's smiling and laughing, and he said, don't worry, it's all there for you. It's almost like crystals. There's like little crystals on your mental grid. They're like thin, like little pieces of crystalline thoughts. So they're either thoughts that you've had that now don't work anymore, and they're also thoughts of other people. So when you've been helping other people process through their own patterns and their own BS and their own stuff and their own energy, it's kind of stuck to your mental grid a little bit. So your mental grid, your energetic grid right now has little deposits on it. So it's almost like you gotta shake it out. So I don't know if you're gonna do it through a physical activity or breathing, but basically it's these little calcium, like energetic deposits that are all in the mental grid. And it's even beyond words. Like, it doesn't really have words. It's just energy. And so either shaking it out, releasing it, even sound like, huh, just like, huh, releasing it, letting it out through your breath, letting it out through your energy, and really kind of saying, because, part of the healing that you do is almost like take in people's energies, like in a shamanic way, and then you kind of, you wouldn't describe it this way, I don't think, but then you they go in, and then they come on out. So this is what they're showing me, like you take in stuff and then it comes out. Well, on the way out, some of it got kind of stuck there. So that's really all that they're saying. So it's not a particular trauma, it's not a particular memory, it's not so much that it's like a specific fear of any sort. It's really more about these little deposits that need to be shifted. So you're due for a spring cleaning, Danny boy. Good luck with that. Sending you love, closing the doors for Danny, and sending you so much love, all of you. Yay! Ooh, a guided meditation podcast. You know what? That's a thought. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to think and feel into that. I love hearing all of you answer everyone's questions. Find a lot of learning here. Thank you so much, Monica. Yes, yes, yes. Light and energy to all. I'm off to work. Yay, doing the Reiki. Good. Ask that question, Belinda. Big chills, Persephone and the first goddess who spoke to me. Prepubescent me, my hands are burning as yes, I love me some Persephone, and she came up for you. Yay, thank you. Thank you, Shama. Yeah, totally. Pre and P, you know. Thank you, love, Belinda. Kate, sending you love. Sending you all love. And I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go take a minute before I go into interview Kathleen Booker for my Awakened Soul people. And, yes. Thank you. Sending you all so much love. Thank you so much.